Welcome to our channel. My name is Carol and we are the Draper Bunch. If you're new here, we would love for you to click on the subscribe button and the notification bell at the bottom, and so you can get all of our content. We like to vlog about our homeschooling journey, and we like to vlog about our family adventures. Our favorite type of adventure to take is a Disney cruise. So today our vlog is going to focus on 10 things that you should pack for your Disney cruise. We did a lot of research before we went on our first Disney cruise, and there are some things we wish we would have known and some things we wish we had not taken. So I'm going to share those things with you today. Let's get started. Number one is everybody should probably take this USB hub. It has 4 USB plug-ins, which you can decide how many you need. There are lots of types out there. And then on the back side it has an electrical outlet for you to plug into the electrical outlet. So in the Disney cruise staterooms, there are not a tremendous amount of electrical outlets, and surge protectors and extension cords are prohibited items. You're not allowed to bring those onto the cruise ship. So if you have multiple electronic devices or things that you would like to plug in, then this little USB hub can be very helpful to be able to plug in your USB ports here, and then you can just plug it into the electrical outlet there. So definitely something to think about. Before I go any further, many of the things that I talk about today, I'm going to leave a link down below where you can go and buy these items if you're not sure where to find them, and I tried to find the most economical ones that I could, so check out the links in the description below. So USB hub, very helpful if you have a lot of things you want to plug in. The number 2 thing is sun protection. There are multiple things you can bring for sun protection. I almost left home without a very important one that I'll share with you in a minute, so make sure that you take those things. The first type of sun protection is a hat. You could take a sun hat, you can take a baseball cap, but something definitely that will protect your face from the sun. I like the baseball cap because on the deck a lot of times if it's sunny it can also be very windy, and I can tuck my ponytail through the little hole in the back and my hat stays on my head. So sometimes that can be an issue if you're on deck, but it can be very windy. So I like to have a baseball cap. Definitely make sure you take a hat. The second thing is sunglasses. This is the thing I almost left home without last time, and I'm so glad that I did not. It came in handy a lot. So you definitely want to make sure that you take your sunglasses with you on the cruise. They protect your eyes from the sun. It's nice when you're sitting out on the deck, if you're up by the pool watching a movie or just having a coffee by Cove Cafe. It's nice to have those sunglasses for the really sunny days. You might not want ones this big, but sunglasses are important. The next thing that I would say is make sure you obviously take your sunscreen. We took 2 of these, and we took this one, which is also one for like just for the face. So we took 2 of each of these on our cruise, which was a 5-night cruise, and we used almost all of the sunscreen during the time that we were on our cruise, if that gives you any perspective on how much you might need. So those 2, definitely take sunscreen. If you're in concierge, you don't need to take sunscreen. They provide sunscreen on the concierge deck and also at the cabanas. If you get a cabana as well, they have sunscreen there. So those are the 2 cases where you would not necessarily need to pack sunscreen, but definitely make sure you have your sun protection. The other thing that I think may often get overlooked that I kind of thought about at the last minute on our cruise was chapstick with UV protection. We took chapstick with UV protection for our kids and for ourselves, for our lips, to make sure that they did not get sunburned or chapped while we were out on the beach or up on the deck and the wind's blowing. So chapstick is definitely very helpful to have as well. Number 3 on my list of things are Ziploc bags. Ziploc bags come in handy in a couple of different ways if you're traveling. The first way obviously is when you're packing your bags. If you're putting in beauty products or sunscreen or things like that that may potentially leak, then the Ziploc bag protects everything else in your luggage from those items if they do happen to leak. Certainly consider that if you're traveling by air. Our family has only traveled by car so far to get to the ports. We live close to a couple of ports, so we're able to just travel by vehicle. So if you're traveling by air, definitely consider that as well. The second use for the Ziploc bags that came in handy, I actually took several empty Ziploc bags, and I'm really glad that I did, Many of the Bahamian and Caribbean cruises on the last day go to Castaway Cay. It's so much fun. You get to play in the water and the sand and all of those things, but that's usually your last day, and by the time you get back to your room, you have to pack your suitcase and have it out by 10 p.m., 10 or 10:30, I don't remember at the moment, but you have to have it out, and so a lot of your clothes are wet, and if you have water shoes, those are wet. So the Ziploc bags really came in handy for packing those wet items in at the last minute to be able to put them back in our suitcase and not have a wet, soggy mess when we got home. So definitely I would recommend bringing some empty Ziploc bags with you along the way. The next thing, number 4, is specifically for first-time cruisers. If you're a first-time Disney cruiser, you will want to bring a lanyard. This is one that I had gotten on Amazon, and I'm leaving some links for those down below for you. If you are a new cruiser to Disney, they will not give you a lanyard when you check in. If you are a repeat cruiser, they will give you a lanyard. They'll provide that for you. This lanyard just hangs around your neck, and it has a plastic pouch on it, because when you check in to your cruise, you'll get your key to the world card, which is the key to the world on your Disney cruise. You use it to lock and unlock your door. You use it to make any additional purchases while you're on the cruise ship, and then also it's used to identify you when you're getting on and off the ship, or if you have kids in the kids club. So you really need this card with you everywhere you go, and having it in a lanyard makes that very convenient. This one happens to be retractable, which is also very helpful because the card actually scans right through the plastic. I actually didn't have to take it out of the plastic at all to scan it. So it was just very helpful and convenient. Some people don't like lanyards. I like it because I didn't have to worry about misplacing my card. It was just kind of always around my neck. So if you're a first-time cruiser, definitely think about taking a lanyard. If you forget that, they do sell them on the ship, but I think they're quite a bit more pricey than they are on places like Amazon. Number 5 is a night light, and I don't have one of those to show you, but some of the staterooms can be really dark at night. Inside staterooms particularly are very dark. If you have small children, a nightlight is very helpful for them in the middle of the night if they're trying to find their way to the bathroom and they get disoriented or whatever. It's kind of helpful to have a nightlight. We had a veranda room on our last cruise, and we still used the nightlight because we had children sleeping on the bunk beds, and we wanted, if they got up in the middle of the night, for them to be able to see really well how to get down and be able to go to the bathroom. So a nightlight can be very, very helpful. The next thing on my list is a jacket or sweater. This is the one that I took with me on our cruise. It's kind of a light windbreaker. It's very helpful because on the deck it gets very windy even in warmer temperatures and can get very chilly at nighttime. The dining room can be chilly, and the movie theater for us was extremely cold. So you definitely want to have a jacket and or a sweater to have to wear maybe in the evenings if it gets a little bit chilly. Number 7 on my list of things is baby powder. Sounds like an odd thing to bring on a cruise, but if you don't know, baby powder is very helpful for getting sand off, and so if you just put the baby powder on wherever the sand is, it just brushes right off, and that's especially helpful with small children again. So baby powder is a great thing to have. Some people recommend using a soft paintbrush to be able to brush it back off again. It's been my experience that you really can just kind of do that with your hands if you want, but you certainly could take a brush if you wanted to. Number 8 is don't forget your camera, don't forget your chargers, all of your electronic devices, chargers, batteries. You definitely want to make sure that you remember to pack all those things. They tend to be easy to forget to pack, I think, because a lot of times we're using them up until the minute we're leaving for our trip. So just make sure that you put that on your packing list and that you don't forget to get those things when you get ready to go. Number 9 are medications. This is my EpiPen that I take with me everywhere I go. So if you have prescription medications, you definitely, again, want to make sure that you don't forget to get those if you're using them, especially up until the time you're walking out the door to leave. Make sure that you bring any other medications you might need. If you have medications for seasickness or anything like that, just make sure you don't forget all of those things. They're really important. And number 10 on my list is bringing a backpack or a bag, an extra bag. You may have a bag that you use for a carry-on that may work fine, but just make sure that you have some sort of bag or backpack that you can use when you get off at ports, when you get off at Castaway Cay and things like that, because you're going to want a place to put, we like this bag is kind of large and it's kind of waterproof on the outside, so we like it because we can put bottles of water in it, we can put our towels in it. Disney does provide towels every time you get off the ship in any port and in Castaway Cay, so it's a nice place to kind of put everything collectively together. A backpack is great when you're off at ports and you're doing adventures that way, because then you can just kind of keep everything in one place that you might need, phones and things like that. So having an extra bag that you can carry things off the ship in when you get off in port is really a good idea as well. So those are my top 10 things I think you should take with you on a Disney cruise. If you have anything to add to that, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear your suggestions. Now let's talk about a couple of bonus things that you can bring. These are not necessarily the most important, but they're certainly very fun. So the first thing that I would say is a bonus to bring are ears. Ears are very fun to wear. Some people think that perhaps you don't wear them on a Disney cruise, that maybe you only wear them at Disney World or Disneyland, but that's absolutely not true. We wore them on the Disney cruise, and many people wear them. Some people change out and wear different ones every day. So ears are fun to have. It's fun to kind of get into the magic of the cruise that way. So definitely get yourself some ears if you want. There's lots of places that you can get those from. The second thing are shirts. Our family got matching shirts for our Disney cruise, and that was really fun because once we ordered the shirts and got them in, the children were very excited about the day they got to wear their cruise shirt. And you take a nice family picture with a nice background when you're boarding the ship, so the shirts make for really nice pictures as well. So something to consider is getting some matching shirts. Some people do matching shirts every day or a couple of different days on the cruise. We only did it on the first day, but you could do that as much as you wanted to. The third thing that kind of makes the trip magical and fun and also helps a lot is getting magnets to decorate your stateroom doors. We ordered ours online, and you can certainly do that as well. They're customizable most of the time, so it's really helpful because you would be surprised how when you get on the ship, all the doors start to look the same. So it makes it just easy to pick out your door very quickly when you have it decorated with magnets. So those are really fun. So those are the things that I have that are tips for you of things that you can take on your Disney cruise that will help a lot. And then I have a few things that I want to share with you that are things that you do not need to take, or things that we took and did not use, and so you might want to consider that for yourself as well. The first thing, as I said earlier, is you do not need to take towels. Disney has towel stations all around the pools and the hot tubs, and again, they provide towels when you get off at the ports. They just ask that you make sure you bring the towels back. So you really do not need to pack towels unless you just want to bring your own. You don't really need to do that. It takes up extra space in the suitcase. The second thing is water bottles. A lot of things that we read and saw encourage people to pack their own water bottle or some sort of container that you could fill up with drink. And we chose not to use these during our cruise. We found ourselves not using them at all. The drink stations have cups, and so we just used the cups at the drink station. We didn't find ourselves going back often enough to warrant having that extra bottle in our suitcase to put drink in. So certainly you can decide what's right for you and your family, but that was something that we took that we did not use. The next thing we took that we did not use were waterproof phone cases. And I know that might be a little bit surprising, but we actually took these waterproof phone cases. The ones that we have were excellent. I would definitely give them 5 stars. They're absolutely waterproof. They're universal, so most smart devices would fit in here. It has a lanyard so you can hang it around your neck. If you were using your smartphone as a camera and you were going to find yourself in the water a lot trying to do that, then perhaps you would want to use this. We just found it heavy when we put our phone in it to hang around our neck, and we just didn't find ourselves needing to use it enough to warrant taking it with us on the trip. So it's something you can consider if you like. I'll leave a link down below to order one if it's something that you think you might want, but we took it and didn't use it. The next thing I would say is be careful about packing too many clothes. I overpack. I'm really bad about overpacking. So I had a really good friend who's a travel agent who said to me, Carol, lay out everything you want to take and then take away half and pack what's left. And I did not take her advice, and I wish I would have, because she was absolutely correct. So my hope is that when we get ready to pack for our next Disney cruise, we're going to bring you along and show you that packing process, and hopefully we'll do a better job of not overpacking this time. The last thing that I want to talk about is a laundry hamper. We saw a lot of people that encouraged to take a collapsible or a cloth laundry hamper to put your dirty clothes in as you were on the cruise. And I'll share the tip that we used when we were on our cruise, which was the first day that we were on the ship, we unpacked everything. There was plenty of space, plenty of drawers, plenty of hangers, plenty of closet space. So we unpacked all of our items and put them away and put our empty suitcases under the bed, because there's quite a bit of space under the bed for that. And as we used things and as our clothes were dirty and we weren't going to wear them anymore, we just packed all that stuff back in the suitcase. And I'll tell you that that was very helpful, because our last day was at Castaway Cay and we wanted to be able to make the most of the day and stay out as long as we could and not be rushed back to try to pack before dinner. So it was nice to be able to come back to the room and have minimal packing to do, because we had just been putting things back in the suitcase all week as we used them. So it really helps you kind of stay neat and organized, and it just makes packing at the end easier, because you'll already be sad that you're leaving your cruise. So it just helps a lot to do that, and it eliminates the need for the laundry hamper. So you could consider that as well. So these are all of my tips kind of for packing that I have right now. I would also remind you that I did not mention this in my list because I think it's a given, but make sure you don't forget your important documents. You'll want to make sure you take your luggage tags. Disney will send you a book like this all about your cruise, and inside the front cover will be luggage tags that you can put on your luggage, which will help your luggage get to your stateroom. So you just want to make sure that you take your important documentation with you, passports, birth certificates, however you're traveling. Just make sure that you have all of those important items with you when you go. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you found this useful. If you have anything extra to add, we would love to have your comments down below. Please give us a big thumbs up to let us know that you were here. Stay tuned. We have more great content coming up. See y'all real soon.